Well, what a week so far. Started off the week with Save Our Valleys being on the front page of Saddleworth Independent, and a good write-up as well that they gave us. And then lo and behold, the news of the head of planning being suspended, and actually stating 2 planning applications, one of which is for the valley at Knowles Lane, as one of the reasons he's been suspended. And then a complete 360-degree turnaround by Oldham Council. No surprise there. That there's nothing wrong and everything's still going ahead and everything's fine and dandy. But that's obviously in their world, and I think they live in a totally different world than the rest of us. The news that Andy Barnum's coming up here to Dovestones. If anybody knows what day is coming up, it'd be interesting if you'd post it on here. But one question I'd like Andy Barnum to be asked, if anybody does see him at Dovestones, is can he guarantee that there's going to be no housing developments at all here in Dovestones? Because it seems that the only advantageous for people of having housing developments in Saddleworth of 3, 4, 5, 6 bedroom houses is going to be not for the homeless and not for the housing needs of affordable houses, but they're going to be executive houses that are going to be 3, 4, 500,000 pounds plus, which isn't going to help the homeless or the housing need at all. So I think again, the myth stroke lie, however you want to call it, continues. Look at that. This is what they're going to build houses on in the very near future. This is what Andy Burnham's going to come and have a look at. And somebody asked him the question. Come on, Andy. Straightforward question, straightforward answer. Are you going to build on Dovestones? And by the way, there's a Saddleworth first tree, which we use in our campaign. So the advantageous of building 4, 5, 6 bedroomed houses in Saddleworth, Lees, Groton and Springhead, up here in Dovestones, in Saddleworth North and Saddleworth South, is not going to cure the housing crisis. If anything, it's going to make it worse. We've got virtually no infrastructure investment in any of the Saddleworth wards for the last 3 or 4 decades, and there's been a lot of housing developments throughout Saddleworth, but very, very little of the money that's generated, if any, is invested back in the area. Oldham Council compulsory purchased affordable houses in Durka that many people were quite happy with, and you could buy an house on there, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 80 grand. A lot of people when they're starting off in life start off with a 2 up, 2 down. And what did Oldham Council do? Compulsory purchased them all, knocked them all down, decided they weren't building in Durka anymore because it weren't profitable enough, and built probably about 20%. Somebody will have the exact figures, but I'd say 20 or 25% of the actual houses stock that they had there in the first place. Another disastrous decision by Oldham Council. For all those that have supported us today for the 200 Club, again, thank you very much for your donations. We're getting near and near the mark where we can get our fund to a level where we can basically launch a judicial review, a fully funded judicial review, for what has been described by the newspapers, the press, locals, and anybody who's seen the videos, the worst planning decision and shambles that Oldham Council have ever had, and yet still they're that arrogant they're trying to defend it. There's going to be some news later on this week, which I'll post upon here, which hopefully will inform everything of some of the events that we're hoping to host in order to get our funds over the line. Anyway, once again, thanks again, and don't forget, ask Andy Burnham. Hey Andy, are you going to build on Dovestones? he won't answer you. You'll not get a straight answer off him. And I think we all know what that means with his 5-year spatial framework for affordable houses. Affordable to whom has got to be the number one question, because all executive houses are going to produce is a lot of ratepayers' money back into the coffers of Oldham Council for those, I don't even know how to describe them, people who are making the decisions for the rest of us to sort of cope with, that are on anywhere from £60,000 to £200,000 a year. And yeah, they've steered us into the top crappiest towns in the UK, and also had the accolade in not too distant past of being the worst run council in the UK. I wonder where they stand right now. But the funds that executive houses is going to produce won't go to affordable houses, won't go to the infrastructure. They'll go on never-ending increasing pot of the wanton waste at Oldham Council. Anyway, God bless you all. Keep up the faith. We'll get there. And I'm looking forward to